Guys, and welcome to another movie review, and this will be about a movie that just came out today, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I got another special guest, Ryan, coming back for another video. And we saw this last night, 7 p.m. IMAX showing, but it started late, sadly. So let's get down to it. Plot-wise, very, it was okay for a superhero movie. It didn't really, super movies don't really take a lot of thought because it's the same like cliche stuff, like villain ends up getting an upper hand, but then the hero wins it all. So yeah, I thought the film was choppy, like it's just something like boom boom boom, like it didn't like set up the scenes proper to me, of course. And tone plays a big factor in movies. And I feel like this film was trying to be Dark Knight at certain points, but then trying to be like the Avengers, being lighthearted, and then Dark Knight being dark. So those are some complaints towards the film. Acting-wise, I thought Jamie Foxx and Dane DeHaan were the best out of all of them. Jamie Foxx did a wonderful Electro. I don't think no one else could have done what he did with him. Dane DeHaan played more psychotic Green Goblin, while James Franco played more of an intellectual one, and Emma Stone did good as Gwen Stacy. Andrew Garfield actually did good in this one, unlike the first film. I was surprised about that, but those were just mainly the main cast. And let's get down to character development. The only one they really developed like really well was Electro. Like, I really felt attached to him. There's some stuff about his character I'll talk about in the spoiler region of this video, but I did like how they develop him. They develop Harry Osborn somewhat, but not really. So they don't develop the characters from returning from the first film to the second film because you should already know about them characters. And let's get down to the pacing. I thought being 2 hours and 20 minutes. I thought it was going to be slow pacing. It ended up being just fine pacing, Some parts were convoluted and felt slow, but it was still decent pacing. Visual effects wise, the very beginning when I saw the visual effects, I'm like, oh no, because it felt like it was made from the trailer. Like it was all like all choppy, like lagging and stuff. So at first I was all scared. But I feel like they put a lot of visual effects toward Electro. So I actually was happy about that. And when you get to more towards the end of the film, it starts getting really good visual effects. I don't think it's going to be nominated for Academy Award, but still decent visual effects. And let's get down to Ryan telling about a comic appeal of the movie.
Okay, so for the plot, I'm going to disagree with Eric on that. I think it was a really good plot. I mean, I really like how Mark Webb or whoever's come up with these ideas that let's put smaller characters that aren't that well known into movies, because it's really good. Because if you've seen the movie, you know that Electro was pretty good in this movie, and Lizard was great in Amazing Spider-Man. They're actually good villains. So for the plot, I thought it was really good. And
did you see that the person who wrote Spider-Man 3 actually wrote the first two Amazing Spider-Mans?
Okay, that still didn't change the fact that Spider-Man 3 was bad, though. But anyway, so as relation to a comic book, all the characters were pretty much like they were in the comic books. Electro was pretty much Ultimate Electro, though, because as you know, if you read comic books, you know that in the normal Amazing Spider-Man universe, that Electro is just he's in that typical yellow-green suit, and he's just normal. Whereas in the Ultimate universe, he's like he is in Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's all blue, and he's just pretty much pure electricity. And Green Goblin, he was pretty much the Amazing Spider-Man Green Goblin. And for their acting, I think that the guy who played Green Goblin, Dane DeHaan, he did I was really skeptical of him as Green Goblin, but he did great. I mean, there were so many things that he said in the movie, because he was making all these wisecracks and stuff. I was just laughing all of them. He did great as Green Goblin. And Jamie Foxx, he did really good as Electro. And I mean, he had kind of limited lines when he was Electro, though, so it wasn't that much for him to do as Electro. But when he was Max Dillon, he did really good as him. And Andrew Garfield, oh man, he did like phenomenal as Peter Parker, pretty much. Like, if he doesn't get an Academy Award at some point in the future for just any movie, I'll be shocked.
So, what did you think about Paul Giamatti as Rhino slash Alexander Alexander Savet? I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I think Paul Giamatti, he did good, but he was only in it for
like 5 minutes.
Like, he was only in it for 4 minutes as Rhino, and then only in it for like 10 as his normal self. So there's not much to judge from. But I think when if he's in any future films, he'll do good. So yeah.
Yeah, he takes on the ultimate version of him. If you see in the trailer, he's wearing a robot suit, unlike the normal version of him, where he's just a big rhino.
Yeah.
He takes on.
Well, he's not a big rhino. He's just a guy. He's a really big guy in a suit.
So I didn't like the first film, but I did like this film. I'll give it 6 out of 10, up right above my fresh rating.
Oh, I really loved the first film, and when I heard and when I saw like the trailers and stuff, I just thought this could only be better than the first one. And I was absolutely right. This is a 10 out of 10, and this movie now is my favorite movie of all time.
So now we're going to begin the spoiler part of the review. So if you have not seen Amazing Spider-Man 2, please get off this video and then come back when you see it, so we can talk about spoilers and stuff. Unless
you want to be spoiled, of course.
Yeah. So we lead to at the end during the gun credits, they show like in like a 1-2 second thing, they show like all the Sinister Six, which I actually did see the picture before I saw the movie, and this screwed me over.
And the Sinister Six pictures that they showed, this isn't in any order, I don't know what the order is, but the pictures they showed part of Green Goblin's glider, so that's Green Goblin obviously. Then they showed a sort of like lion symbol, which is for Kraven the Hunter. Then they showed some wings for Vulture, and it's Vulture, not Beetle, because they were like feather wings, so it's Vulture. And then they showed tentacles, which is for Dr. Octopus. And then they showed the horn for Rhino, so that's Rhino. And
then this is really could go either way.
This one, okay, so there's the last one. I said this one for last because it's the most debated one. There's this one picture where it's like some sort of like mask face, and it looks like it's sort of like a mist around it. And there's big debate over if it's Mysterio or Chameleon. But if you go on superhero hype.
Go on the pictures.
If you look at the pictures, and if you click to save the picture, it says, and the title of it is Mysterio.pdf. So it's Mysterio, which is good because Mysterio, like with today's CGI and stuff, they could do so much with him. Like they can pretty much it'll be like Loki, but like 10 times better for illusions and stuff.
And something that really ticked me off in the film, you don't know if Electro dies or not.
Well, you don't know, but I mean, he probably is dead. I mean, because the little thing he had on the side of his head, that like, I don't know, like a barcode thing or something, I don't know what it was. But like whenever he was like moving and stuff, and just in his electric form, it would be like it would have like all the bars would be like all filled, so it'd be like fully charged. But then when Spider-Man was fighting him and he got overcharged and exploded, the thing fell to the ground, and you saw that it gradually just went to 0, and it was energyless.
Yeah, but he could still be alive, because as I said, like, he could just be some, like, little tiny strand of electricity waiting for more. And in Brazil, they actually called the film The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Rise of Electro. So it could be, like, him, and, like, we do not think Norman Osborn's dead.
But to be fair, to be honest though, they're not really going to call a movie The Fall of Electro, but, I'm not going to make any assumptions. I mean, I personally think he's dead, but, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we don't think Norman Osborn's dead.
So we could get, like, Ultimate Green Goblin and Electro in the next film with some, like, little specks of, like, the Sinister Six, and then you have the Sinister Six movie, and then you get Amazing Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, but I personally think the whole 2 Green Goblins would be stupid, because my prediction for Amazing Spider-Man 3 is that they're going to, like, subtly introduce the Sinister Six, and then I would assume that since Felicia Hardy was in this one as Harry Osborn's assistant, I would assume that they were gonna start making her become Black Cat. So, and then I think that in the Venom movie, it's gonna be Flash Thompson as Venom, so it's gonna be like the military Venom, the good guy one, and then in the Sinister Six, it's gonna be, you know, Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus, Mysterio, Kraven, Vulture, and
Octopus.
I said Doctor Octopus. Whatever, whoever hosts the sixth one. But yeah, so, but speaking of Sinister Six movie, in case any of you knew, in case any of you don't know, in case you're wondering what the plot's gonna be, I read that it's gonna be where, since they're all gonna be bad guys, you're gonna make it where some of them are just not as evil as the other ones. So you'll have like Harry Osborn as Green Goblin, who'll be like the psychotic one, so he'll be evil. But then you could get like, I don't know, like Doctor Octopus or something, who's more like, like I don't think we should be that evil, but yeah.
Yeah, and if you see from the film, Gwen Stacy ends up dying. So Shailene Woodley was originally supposed to play Mary Jane in this film, but her scenes got cut, which I would assume would have been at the end of the film. So she hasn't said if she's returning or not, or she's not returning, but more than likely she's not returning because of the Divergent series.
Yeah, I really hope she doesn't return, because this is the thing. I'm not saying she's a bad actress or anything. I mean, I haven't seen Divergent, so I can't really say much about her. But I mean, it's just Mary Jane. If you've read the comics, Mary Jane is supposed to be like a supermodel. So, and I mean, I'm not calling her ugly, but I mean, she's just kind of like average. She's not supposed she's not like. You know, like, she's not like, whoa, you know, she's not like Kate Upton or anything. She's got to be like, you have to have someone as Mary Jane that's like a 10 out of 10 for looks, pretty much.
So, you know, we could give Mary Jane Watson in the next film, or we could just lead her into the fourth film. But the thing Andy Garfield said he's only signed on for another film. So we don't know if Spider-Man 4 is going to be some whole new Spider-Man, or he's signing one right now as we speak of.
Yeah, and there's been some rumors that for the fourth Spider-Man, it's going to be Miles Morales. Now, personally, I think I'm like one of the few people that actually like the Miles Morales character, because most people don't like him because many people were like really attached to the Ultimate Spider-Man, so people were like pretty mad when he died. But I mean, I was mad too, but Miles Morales was a great character though, because he was just, he was just a good character, and then they showed that it's not always going to be Peter Parker's not the only person that can be Spider-Man. Other people can be him. But to put Miles Morales in a movie, I really don't think it's going to happen, just because most people don't know about him. And it's just, I mean, most people look up to Peter Parker. You're not going to ask someone if they look up to Peter Parker, Miles Morales, because you know they're going to say Peter Parker. So, I mean, I'd be kind of mad if it was Miles Morales instead of Peter Parker, because Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and he's the one that we always look up to rather than Miles Morales.
That will end our spoiler region of this video. So if you've seen the film, leave in the comment box below what you thought. Please like and share the video with your friends and family. If you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time, and goodbye.